When is a cash out refinance a good choice? Hey everyone, I'm Mortgage Mel and it's time for today's Mortgage Minute. A cash out refinance can be a good idea for a number of different reasons. If you have a lot of equity in your home, it can give you a way of accessing that at a slightly lower interest rate. So, for example, right now, the interest rates have come down. Not because of the Fed, interestingly, but in a reaction to various different economic data in the last couple of months, we've come down from the mid sevens to the low to mid sixes. And that is much more favorable than it has been. But in addition to that, they can be lower rates overall and for a longer term than a home equity line of credit. Often home equity lines of credit end up with a teaser rate that's really, really great for the first year, and then it goes up pretty quickly to prime, whatever prime interest rate is at the time. Right now, that's 8 plus 1, so it might be 8 to 9% for home equity line of credit. So if you can't pay off that money quickly, it may be better to have it as a cash out refinance where you're doing that more in the low sixes. It could make sense if you were going to make some home improvements, but it could also make sense if you're paying off some higher interest debt. Most credit cards at this point are 21 to 25%. And of course, if you're going to be putting it on something that is closer to 6%, it's going to be a much lower interest overall, but it is something you want to consider. And do you want to add that debt back into your home? Now, in addition to that, the money that's coming from a cash out refinance is not taxable. Neither is a HELOC. And that's because they're really considered loans. So it's not going to be taxable at the end of the year. And in some instances, you may actually be able to take that interest off of your taxes if you itemize. Remember, there are some costs involved in refinancing. There may be closing costs. You may be able to get your lender to cover those if you are a repeat customer. And there are also escrows that if you do homeowners insurance and tax escrows, that you'll have to put money in up front while waiting for the lender to either credit you or send you a check for what is already in those escrow accounts. It's just something to be aware of. You'll also pay prepaid interest from the day you close to the end of the month, but likely then would have to have the next month to skip the payment. So there's sort of a balancing act there. Just something to be aware of. Hey, if you like this content, give me a like and a follow, and I hope you guys have a great day.